Today I'd like to talk a little bit about some healing research and some of the ideas of health and healing that I have linked to or briefly commented about on my website www.omsh.net. Can you imagine taking a photograph, a TIFF file, for example, emailing it off to Research Foundation, and a frequency set being targeted to you that is intended to research the effects on viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens, or different effects in terms of health and healing research. This is something that I've been involved with for several years now, and I give a lot of thanks and appreciation to the Frequency Foundation and pioneers in this area of research such as Dr. Royal Raymond Rife, Dr. Holga Clark, Dr. Jeffrey Sutherland, and Dr. Dick Lloyd, or Dr. Richard Lloyd of Health Balances. There are many facets to this research. This is an area that I like to refer to as remote healing research, and that's the transmission of frequencies or using scalar wave magnetics or also radionics. Also, there are contact devices, and this is generally for the layperson, such as myself, would take a set of frequencies that are sometimes emailed and put them into a frequency generator, or other devices such as a frequency scan or what's known as an F-scan, which in Switzerland and Germany are known as Class 1 licensed medical devices. In other countries they're probably listed or known just strictly for research purposes, if even that. And these frequency sets are intended to be used for different purposes and different means. I invite you to look at my page on Ideas for Health and Healing further, or to check out the Frequency Foundation. They've had a lot of great services that I've used, and I appreciate that the articles that are listed there, and there's much more information from the researchers and pioneers that I mentioned earlier in the video. I encourage you that those that are interested to look further into. And I want to add another commentary about my experience with the Frequency Foundation and some of the research that I've experimented with and participated in as a layperson in terms of using frequency devices and the remote healing or remote transmission services, an ABPA, in tandem with contact device, frequency generator, and traveling at different places around the world. A quick example for those that already have a familiarity or background on this subject or this area of research. I was in Kutaisi, Georgia one day, and we were on a hike, and I had left a frequency device back at my apartment in a city several hours away by train, and I had severe right knee pain from an injury in '98 from kickboxing aerobics. So using an F-scan, I had noted that the F-scan had analyzed different viral peaks, extreme viral peaks, MV99, during these times of pain in the right knee. So that day, not having a frequency device with me, I simply emailed the Frequency Foundation, and later in the day, after checking back at the internet cafe, had discovered that they had transmitted these frequencies targeting in research those pathogens involved. So the interesting thing is that during this time I was able to complete a hike, whereas earlier in the day it was even very painful and difficult for me to carry a pack. So by the end of the day I was hiking up the mountain with a pack, and I was also doing all this with no further pain. So it's nice to go into the internet cafe after a good hike and see that during this time there had been some of this remote transmission taking place. And this is just one of many experiences. I had been in New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, for 45 days. Often I would take the long walks down to the bay area there, and to see the ocean, and I experienced the same issues then. And so again, had the same type of observations that when ABPA transmissions were used to work with the frequencies, and in this way there was some pretty amazing observations. So again, Thanks to the Frequency Foundation, appreciation to them, and those pioneers, Dr. Royal Raymond Rife, Dr. Holger Clark, Dr. Jeffrey Sutherland, and Dr. Richard Deloyd in this area of research in using electronics and frequency for research toward health and healing. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel.